Welcome to Math Screencasts with Mr. S. Today we're going to do more geometry and we're going to find the volume of three-dimensional shapes. The standard is Measurement in Geometry 1.3. Understand the concept of volume and use the appropriate units and common measuring systems. In this case, we'll be using cubic units, which all have threes, because cubed in exponent would have a 3, and you're looking for how many cubes are in the three-dimensional shape. So there's our three-dimensional shape. We have a rectangular prism. Let's find the volume first by counting. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 15 cubes there, 15 cubes there, and 15 cubes there, which altogether would be 45 cubes. If we did this by multiplying, we would use the formula. And the formula is right here. Volume equals LWH. Remember in algebra, LWH means L times W times H. The formula for volume is volume equals length times width times height. So let's see if we can figure out 45 by using the formula instead of counting. Okay, length. It kind of depends how you look at it, but I'm going to say length is this way. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my length. Width. Width, I'm going to say, is going this way, and that's 1, 2, 3. So times 3. There's my width. And my length. And now my height. 1, 2, 3. So let's see, 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 3 is 45. So it works by counting, but it also works by using the formula. One way to remember volume is V for volume. V rhymes with 3. So with volume, you're going to multiply all three numbers. So you've got 3, 3, and 5. You would multiply all three of those to get your volume. Let's look at our next shape. And let's first count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So length times width times height. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. And let's pretend these are inches, so we'd put inches with the 3, or cubic inches. And if we counted, we should get 32 also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 up here, plus 16 on the bottom. That would be 32. So there's our volume for this rectangular prism. Another one to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4 times 4 times 3. You can always use parentheses if you want. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 3 is 48. And let's call them centimeters cubed. Now let's look at one without counting. We have a 3, a 6, and let's make this an 8. And you know what? Let's label them. Let's call them millimeters. Okay, our length, we're going to say, is 8. Our width is 6. And our height is 3. So 8 times 6 times 3. 8 times 6 is 48. And now I have to do 48 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 and 2 is 14. 144. So our volume of that prism is 144 cubic millimeters. Now this one, I get to label myself. Let's call this 2 yards. Let's call this 10 yards. And then we'll call this right here 4 yards. Okay, so I'm going to do 10 times 2 times 4. And if you thought the 2 should have been the 4 and the 4 should have been the 2, it doesn't matter as long as you multiply all three numbers. Remember, we're not adding them all, we're multiplying them. So I'm going to use parentheses to help me out. 10 times 2 is 20, and 20 times 4 is 80. 80 cubic yards. Another one to label. Let's call this 4 feet and call this 3 feet. I'm just making them up. And then we'll call this 20 feet. Why not? And we're going to multiply all three. 4 times 3 times 20. And I'm going to do this because I can do that in my head. 3 times 20 is 60. And 60 times 4 is 240. So my answer is 240 cubic feet. There's the volume of that prism. This one, we need a unit, so we'll call it miles. And we're going to say 5 times 5 times 11. You can go in any order you wish. 5 times 5 is 25, so 25 times 11 . 275 cubic miles. And another one, let's go 5, 3, I like 10, and let's call them yards. So I'm going to do 5 times 3 times 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 10 is 150 cubic yards. What we did today was practice with volume. Remember, one thing to remember is V rhymes with 3. V rhymes with 3, so you're going to multiply 3 numbers when you're doing volume. Also, you can remember the 3's because they're cubes and they're three-dimensional shapes. Okay, so volume is length times width times height, or multiply all 3 numbers to figure out how many cubes are inside a rectangular prism. Remember, all media used in this screencast was used under the Creative Commons license.